Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. Sorry for being a bit late. I can tell you why that happened. You might not even be interested, but it's very rare that I miss the start of the game, but we are live here and I hope you're all doing very well. Needless to say, I have a massive problem with Sky. I do. The Sky multi-box thing, I have it in the living room, I have it in my recording room, and the amount of times it just goes can't connect to box, and you spend the next 15 minutes trying to get it to connect and turn it on and off and hit the button on the front to connect, and it'll go can't connect, and you're like, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to throw it. It will connect. You'll be connecting with my fucking concrete floor in a minute, but I've had to go to basically had to go to level 2, which is get a massive long HDMI cable and run it all the way through from the main box into the back of my TV. So hence I'm a little bit late, which is a bit of a pain. But let me get this timer correct because this is not right. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. Well, I was in a really good mood, but I don't know about you. Technology can just destroy you. I mean, it literally, if you've ever seen Terminator, it definitely can. I watched that over Christmas. But it can just bring your mood right down. And anyway, massive game for Arsenal today. I had the misfortune of turning my TV on as well, and I had audio on because I'd been watching the snooker in the week while I was working. So I turned the audio on. I had the audio on and the TV came on, and I had to listen to the commentators for like 30 seconds. Oh, I pity you. I pity you and what you have to listen to these days. It's absolute shite. Rubbish. I don't know what, irritatingly, annoyingly crap opinion. But maybe that's what you think about this, in which case just turn it off. Simple as that. But yeah, I do pity people that have to listen to it. It's shit. What? Yeah, I don't know what I've done here. But anyway, what Arsenal do you think we're going to get today? I suppose that's the big thing. I think that, as I said on Twitter earlier, we're going to see either Arsenal with on fire, or we're going to see Arsenal with no desire. No, they always have desire, but I think they looked tired up until that break, didn't they? And why have I got no sound? I have got a sound, haven't I? Yeah, I have got a sound. Sorry. For a minute there, I thought, why is no one going mad about it? Yeah, Arsenal on fire or Arsenal to tire. I think that someone like Saka is what I'm looking at today. He's had a very, he fell off a lot over Christmas, looked tired. But Arsenal haven't had a game for 2 weeks. After this, they haven't got a game for a week and a half. So one game in 3.5 weeks. These players can't be moaning about being tired. And when we look at the team on the screen there, Raya, White, Saliba, Gabrielle, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Rice, Havertz, Saka, Jesus and Trossard, no Martinelli. He's on the bench. You could argue that it's pretty much Arsenal at their strongest. I do think they need a striker. But Dean Henderson in goal for Crystal Palace. And he might get some early action here. Oh no, Odegaard couldn't get it down to shoot. But Randy Orton himself in goal. Dean Henderson. Randy Henderson. No, that's something else. Klein, Anderson, Guehi and Mitchell. Lerma, Richards and Hughes. And then Eze, Mateta and Schlupp. No Elise at all. I think that's disappointing for Crystal Palace. Anyone want to let us know why there's no Elise involved in the game? Which is... Dean Orton. Yeah, we'll go with Dean Orton. A Man United fan for life. Thanks for being a member. We're trying to get the members up this year. If you want to do that, click the join button, get your badge in, like your Man United for life. He says, hi, Fennec. How are you, bud? Lovely. He's injured. Elise is injured. Thank you to Ant and Danielle and Engage Castle. Thank you very much for that. Talking about red and white, we've got Arsenal playing in red and white here. What were your thoughts on Dean Henderson? I mean, I was laughing. I couldn't get to sleep. I had to calm myself down. I'd been watching some stand-up comedy on Netflix anyway, and, that was funny. But I turned it off to go to sleep and just checked Twitter before I went to sleep. And Ajax goal shirt record sales has been broken by Dean Henderson. That was funnier than anything I'd seen on the stand-up. It was hilarious. I think Arsenal will win this. I think I said Arsenal in win, lose or draw because I'm in big trouble in win, lose or draw. I need to turn it around. But I am doing the Liverpool game tomorrow, Aidan. Yeah, looking forward. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this game. I just think we've been... the last watch-along I did was... Was it Man United Spurs on Sunday? It's a long time to go without a watch-along, that is. And got loads next week. Both Carabao Cup semi-finals, FA Cup's back, of course. Excuse me. And Liverpool tomorrow. Jordan Henderson, not Dean Henderson. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. Jordan Henderson apparently has broken the Ajax shirt sale record. I mean, if that's not a club being bantered and they don't know it, I don't know what is. I mean, you've had Cruyff, Edgar Davids, Dennis Bergkamp, Kluivert. I mean, just name the greats that have played for that Ajax side. And their legacy for now is that Jordan Henderson, you know, the sellout who went to Saudi, has broken their shirt sale. I mean, Ajax must be starved of success. I genuinely think I could turn up and manager it and they'd build a statue of me. Like, they must be Van Basten as well. They must be starved of success at Ajax to break the shirt sale record for the name Henderson. I mean, I just think it's pure banter. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Jordan Henderson has broken the Ajax shirt sale record. What's gone wrong with Ajax? I mean, to give it some context, this would be like Scott McTominay moving to Real Madrid and breaking the shirt sale record. It's incredible. What's wrong with Amsterdam? Someone needs to tell him. He ain't all that. He ain't all that. He's a decent midfielder, but he ain't bloody Zidane. I mean, the poor kids of Amsterdam walking around with Henderson on their back. That's something that's going to scar you for life. Hi, Mark. I'm so happy that my team, Bristol City, beat West Ham in the FA Cup and love what you do, mate. All the best. Thank you, Think, and well done. Good result. Yeah, definitely good result. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in, by the way. Sean says, part of the problem with Onana is he stays on the spot when conceding. If he dived, it would look more like he's tried and couldn't get it. His positional sense is crap as well, mate. He's like a vicar in the bra section. He just doesn't know what he's doing. He just doesn't. He's like a rabbit in the headlights. Bart says, Ajax lacked a real leader in the team this season. They give the captaincy to players who played for rival clubs, so I can see why it happens, is Bart. No, I've got no problem with their signing him. I just don't understand why their fans think, oh my God. We're in London, aren't we? We are in London, Daniel. We are. It's good to be back. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. We've got Liverpool tomorrow. Don't forget, we've got daily content on that. So we've got some really exciting stuff coming up this year on That's Football. Everyone will say it's the Euros, but we know the Euros are coming. I'm looking forward to the Euros. I don't like Southgate, but I'm actually looking forward to the Euros because I think I'm going to see England win something, which is exciting. It's exciting for the youth. It's exciting for, you know, everybody. I really think England are going to win something for the first time in my life, and that's very exciting. So I'm looking forward to that, but that's not the exciting stuff. We've got loads of stuff coming up. Hi, pal. How are you? And fam, much love, mate. Keep it up. This is Man United fan for life. I hope you're doing well too as well, mate. Yeah, well done. Arsenal dominating the early proceedings here, of course. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app, who sponsor our stats carousel, by the way. Get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news on there. Arsenal on the attack. Good block, though. Yeah. And let's just have a little quick look at how the stats are looking early doors. It will be high percentage for Arsenal, 64%, which is not a surprise at all. But yeah, links in the description for OneFootball. They do all the individual player stats as well for you there. But it's good to be back. I hope everyone's ready. Let them speak, Simon. I'm on TalkSport, I believe, tonight at 7:30, so you can tune in on YouTube for that as well. Corner to Arsenal here. In it comes. Good header. Goal! Gabrielle! Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, that's great for Arsenal. I'm just thinking about Goldbridge. I don't know where it is. I don't know where the bit of paper is. I'm pretty sure I said on Goldbridge that my pick for defender, I was thinking about Gabrielle and I went for Van Dijk. I'm pretty sure. It's cool. It's a goal for Arsenal. I mean, he's all over his back, but you won't get a foul for that. And imagine if they ruled that goal out. If they ruled, they won't rule that goal out. But I'm pretty sure it's not offside. It can't be offside. 1-0 to Arsenal. What a leap by Gabrielle. That was amazing. It was an amazing leap, and it's a great start for I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't know where I put the bit of paper. Paper bridge. Well, the goal's been given. I'll tell you what, I would have laughed my head off if they'd ruled it out. Considering the goal that they ruled out, that they gave to Newcastle. Oh, I knew I had it somewhere. I've got to really sniff now as well. It's getting on my nerves. I'm sure it's going to get on yours. I need to go and get a tissue. No, I don't know where I've put it. I don't know where I've put it. I'd have to listen to the podcast again. Oh, it's here. There it is. No, that's not it. You're an idiot. Where did you put it, you twat? That's really annoying me now, because I know I haven't thrown it away. And I know it's around somewhere. Oh, you're such an annoying twat. Oh, I hate it. I've got no evidence. Can't prove it. Well, if you listen to Goldbridge Saves Football, you could probably prove it. I'm sure I said. Oh, here it is. Well, it's not on the bit of paper, so maybe I didn't. Maybe I said it on the podcast. Anyway, the point is, on the podcast, we do this game called Goldbridge, where me against Will have to pick 5 goal scorers for the weekend, a defender who will score, and a clean sheet. I went with Van Dijk to score, but I said I was going to go for Gabrielle, but I'd already gone for, wait for it, Martinelli to score, and he ain't even fucking starting. Yeah, I've got Martinelli to score. He's not even in the team. Oh, what an idiot. That would have been 3 points as well with Gabrielle. They've got another corner anyway. Arsenal started off very well, very energetic. Henderson's conceded already. Got good money for him, United, to be fair. I'll tell you what, Gabrielle does get over people, though. I mean, are we bordering on fouls there? I don't know. Who scored for Arsenal? Gabrielle. Robbo says, speaking of Gabrielle, are you going to speak about Big Mouth Gabi Bonglahor tonight? I don't know whether it will come. If someone calls in, I'll talk about it. If someone wants to be the sacrificial lamb and call in and say Bonglahor's a prat for saying that Vidic was overrated, I'll certainly do it. I don't know whether I can feed it into the show. I'll do my best. But, I mean, incredible. But it would be like me saying that Dennis Bergkamp was overrated. It's just ridiculous. Got 18 million for Dean, says Din. Thank you very much. Anyone who's tuning in, by the way, it's Arsenal just playing out from the back here. I'm going to have to just grab a tissue. My nose is getting on the bloody nerves. You can have it now if you want.
Yeah.
That's great, isn't it? Getting a cold on a watch-along. I mean, I literally was fine. I think it's the stress of the skybox, really. But Crystal Palace with a free kick here. Gabrielle's very dominant in the air today. I'll give him that. I wish I'd gone with him to score. I really do. Gur says, I think Bonglahor does it for the attention. Well, he shouldn't be allowed to do it for the attention because it's Hollyoaks content, isn't it? It's scripted. You shouldn't do that. Dylan says, he says dumb stuff because he knows his insight and personality can't carry a show. To me, I don't listen to him when he's on the radio, to be honest. I know I do a show for them, but I don't listen to him because I sort of agree with Dylan. I don't think there's anything he can really offer to me. You know, I've played the game. Yeah. As I said this morning on United Stand, if Gordon Ramsay cooks me a steak and I say it's not very good, who's right? Might be a bloody good chef, but I can tell you what a steak's meant to taste like, Gordon. And I don't need to have played the game to know that I've watched it for 40 years and know it like the back of my hand, which I do know very well. Perisic to Hajduk split thoughts. Greetings from there as well. This is 451. I think, you know, Perisic is coming towards the end of his career, so it's not a terrible deal for him. Leo's got a cold. Shout out to anyone who's got a cold. I mean, January, without a shadow of a doubt, I would normally eat a load of crap over Christmas and New Year, drink as well. I mean, it was quite a positive, actually, apart from the illness, because I used to have jobs I didn't like. First 2 weeks of January, I'd always get ill. That'd be a week off. It's an extra week holiday, isn't it? And I genuinely would be ill. I mean, I'd just be watching the Masters snooker. I'd even watch the bowls. It's better than work. But yeah, a lot of people get ill in January. It's because your body goes through lack of sleep, bad diet, alcohol, integration with loads of people that you don't normally meet up with. January illnesses are inevitable in a sense. And then on top of that, some people go to the extreme and start pushing their body like they've never pushed it before. So yeah, a lot of people get sick in January. That's normally the biggest factor in the New Year fitness bubble being burst. Illness. I quite like the bowls as well, T. I don't know how I got into it. I must have watched it years ago when I was at school and I was off ill or something, and I quite like it. I was watching it yesterday afternoon. I don't know. It's not an old thing because I used to watch it. Nuzza from Club Brugge, I have heard of him. I actually think I might have him on my career mode, you know, Reeston. I think I've got him on my career mode. Sky News just popped up with United are interested in Ajax striker Brian Brobby. Well, my Sky Sports News just popped up as well, Sarah, with Man United are interested in Ajax's car park attendant. I mean, it just seems to me if you've worked at Ajax, you've got a great chance of coming to United, isn't it? Looking forward to the return of the Champions League style, but I don't know who's going to win it. Brobby doesn't excite me, no. Man United have got to stop buying players that Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool don't want. You know, if you want to compete with the best, you've got to be looking at players that other clubs want. And that doesn't mean go and get Jude Bellingham. Like, look at, like, Liverpool bought Alexis McAllister from Brighton. They bought Szoboszlai. You know, you've got to start looking at players that the top recruiters are looking at. I don't trust our recruitment team. We haven't got a good recruitment team, and we still haven't got one. We haven't... Just because Sir Jim Radcliffe's there, he hasn't appointed his recruitment team yet. So anybody we're linked to, I'm not really fussed about. Would you ever consider playing Football Manager, says Les? I did play it. It's just very consuming time-wise. I will play it again, but I loved my Solihull Moors career mode last year. Arsenal are dominating here. Here's Trossard. Referee's giving an offside there. Talking about... talking about the podcast, Pratt of the Week this week. Don't know whether you saw it. Let me just find the article. It was very debatable. But I actually got told it by Will, and basically, what was this that Sean Dyche said? Come on. Oh, Palace on the break here. No, nothing's happening there. Yeah, so basically, I don't know whether you saw this, but Danjuma at Everton. Oh, lovely ball into Saka. He's away. It's a good cross. No. Oh, it could have been an own goal, but... off Richards. It goes out for another corner. Imagine Eric Ten Hag deals for Henderson from Ajax in the summer, says Jay. Whoa, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. But lovely ball in behind here from Ben White into Saka. Decides not to try and get away. Would have been an offside anyway if the cross had made it there, but Richards puts it out for a corner. Hi, Lewis. Let's see what happens with this corner, considering Arsenal have nearly scored from their last two. Saka's on it. And it's Gabrielle again, heads it wide. Who got the assist on the Gabrielle goal? Did anyone grab that? Rice. Oh, fuck off, Rice. I need Saka to get assists, not Rice. Saka's my captain because Haaland didn't play. Yeah, Rice. Rice got it. Rice with the assist, Gabrielle with the goal. Why is your forehead so shiny, says Gilligan? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Youpe's got Cold Palmer as his captain. They played last week, didn't they? I was trying to think, yeah, this split week is confusing. Zetti says, start bench sell, Guehi, Tamari or Shaw. Well, Shaw's a left back, mate. Guehi and Tamari are centre backs. I don't think that's fair. But I'd start Luke Shaw. I'd bench Tamari and I'd sell Guehi. I tell you what, I'm going to say it because I keep saying it and I'm going to stick by it. I don't rate Arteta's decision on Havertz. I just don't rate a midfield of Odegaard, Havertz and Rice. I really don't. I don't get it. I mean, I don't hope he proves me wrong. He might prove me wrong, but I just don't get it. Sell, bench, play, Salah, Hazard, Thierry. Sell, bench, play. Start, bench, sell then, basically. I will start Thierry. I will bench Salah and I will sell Hazard, LJM. Are you doing a watch-along for Bournemouth, Liverpool tomorrow, says Philip? I am. And Mark, what's the most boring fixture in the Premier League, says the Football 212. I'm going to come back to the Danjuma story, Jake. Don't worry about that. The most boring fixture in the Premier League at the moment, I wouldn't even say, at least Luton, Burnley, I wouldn't watch it, but at least it would be exciting because they're both in the relegation zone. The most boring fixture at the moment would probably be something like Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. You know, teams that are sort of not in the relegation zone, but nowhere near mid-table. I'd say like that, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest would probably be quite a boring one. Or maybe Brentford, Nottingham Forest, actually. Oh, that's on telly tonight. Yeah, I think Brentford Forest might be the one. Although some people think Brentford might go down. I don't. I don't think there's a chance that happens. Are you doing tonight's watch-along? After what I've just said, absolutely not. No. I mean, I've got Ivan Toney in my fantasy Premier League team. Edward says Haaland was captain, but Palmer is my vice-captain. I'm sure a lot of people will watch it later just because it's the Ivan Toney comeback game, but not for me. No. I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm not doing a watch-along for it. The day I do a Brentford, Nottingham Forest watch-along is the day I really don't have a lot to do on a Saturday night. What about Danjuma, Mark, says Coz. So yes, going back to what we were talking about. So Danjuma has apparently been taking private flights from Manchester to Liverpool to go training. Sean Dyche was asked about it and he said, personally, I'd have taken the car, but modern players need to look after themselves and get their rest. He said nothing other than he wants to work hard and play. He's an Everton player. Very simple. I think it's... Look, I don't know where people stand on climate change, etc. But it pisses me off that Danjuma is getting a private flight from Manchester to Liverpool. I mean, literally, if you don't know how far it is from Liverpool to Manchester, it ain't far. You're talking, what, an hour? An hour? So there won't be any. Manchester Airport won't fly to Liverpool. That's what I'm saying. It's not a flight route. So he's getting private flights to fly from Manchester to Liverpool to go training. And I'm spending 5 minutes a day in my sink, not literally in my sink, you know, cleaning out the bean juice so I can put it in the recycling. I mean, it's bloody ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, my mate was saying down the pub the other day that he only gets to have a bit with his missus once a month through the winter because she has to be at the right temperature. She doesn't like doing it when she's cold. So, but they don't have the heating on that much because there's a cost of living crisis. But you know, he's getting one bit a month when the heating goes up high enough. And Danjuma is taking a private jet to go training for Everton. I mean, he's not even going to train for Real Madrid. He's going to get a private jet to train for Everton. And we're all bloody rinsing out our bean cans. And my mate's only getting it once a month. It's a joke. Absolute joke. It's not me, Jamer. It's my mate. He says she's cheating on him. Well, that may well be. That's his problem. What's going on there? Why he can't warm her up, I don't know. But I've said to him, can't use the microwave. But the reality is, it is out of order. I mean, I'm not massively into all this recycling and everything like that. But I think we all have to be more responsible, especially if we want to, you know, provide a planet for our kids and their kids. And I think Danjuma just comes across as a complete and utter arrogant, selfish prat, to be honest. Getting a bloody private jet. He shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed to do that. Private jet from Manchester to Liverpool to train for Everton. What a complete and utter prat. There should be car sharing. Why are they all driving? It annoys me when I see all the United players turning up in that, like, you know, like it's a bloody Top Gear special. Oh, look at my gold-plated roller. Like, they should be car sharing. They're all going to the same bloody place. Buy your mate a hot water bottle, says Jamer. Aiden says, why don't they do it in the shower or the bath? Well, that's putting the heat. That's putting the hot water on, isn't it? Do I think City will get cleared, says LJM? Well, watch the video I did yesterday. I think I've always felt they'll get away with it, yeah. Arsenal 1-0 up here after half an hour. They'll be I mean, look, we've been in this situation so many times. Early goal when you're the home team and you're the favourite, really important. Good corner, good header by Gabrielle, 1-0. They've got that little bit of breathing space. But what have we spoken about Arsenal quite a few times now? Seen them at home against Forest, Wolves. They don't really often this season put teams to bed. They keep them awake. And while they're awake, they're capable of doing something. Arsenal need to become that team again that can win 2 or 3. Should Jose coach England? He's king of the tournament, says Christopher Mancini. And their Instagram story is more important, says Vincent, referring to Danjuma. Look, no one's going to convince me. I think it's absolutely disgusting that you're taking a private flight to go training from Manchester to Liverpool. It's irresponsible. On a serious note, a lot of kids around where I am, their parents are walking half a mile to get them to school, to, you know, and they encourage them to do that at school. And you've got a prat like that, a privileged prat like that, doing that. It shouldn't be a laughing matter. It should be called out. It's ridiculous. It's arrogance. You know, it's ridiculous. Although I've got to get up early tomorrow because I've got a private chauffeur taking me down to London. That's a joke. That's a joke. CFC says, will there be more driving with Goldbridge? Yep. A good free kick position here for Palace. Ezzy. Top 6 end of the season, says James. I don't know about top 6, mate. I'm going to come back to the England stuff. Top 6 is very hard to predict. I would say, let's see what happens with this free kick. It's very Beckham distance, straight into the wall. And Klein stupidly tries a shot. Hi, Mark. Deitch said that Danjuma's flight from Manchester to Liverpool was a joke, says Sam. Well, hold on, this is a great idea. Will has just messaged me saying, what about whoever loses Goldbridge has to be a mascot and walk out with the players for Solihull Moors at the end of the season? I like that. That'd be hilarious. Great idea. Mate, I can only follow the news. It was on numerous websites that Danjuma got private flights. And I don't think it started with Deitch. Here's an article from World Soccer Talk. Everton winger Danjuma has been taking private flights to training from Manchester to Liverpool. The main issue with this is that the flight time from Manchester to Liverpool is just 8 minutes. It's about a 1 hour drive. Apparently, unnecessary flights are not new to the Premier League, nor are they exclusive to Everton. On separate occasions, Arsenal took a very brief flight from Norwich when it was at Carrow Road. It's just irresponsible. It's arrogantly irresponsible, in my opinion. Hi, Mark. That was from Sam. Top 6, end of the season. Oh, there's a bad foul here. Bad kick out by Raya. Has to make a save. It goes for a corner. And he's got injured on the follow-through. I don't think it will go for a free kick. But Rice didn't do anything wrong there. That's going to be a corner, isn't it? Top 6. I don't know what order, but if you want me to guess, I'll say City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, Spurs. So 6th place. Tough to know who's going to get 6th, actually. It won't be West Ham. It could be United. Could be Chelsea. Could be Brighton. Could be Newcastle. Could be Wolves. But I think the 5 positions are pretty easy to predict, yeah. Here's Jesus on the attack again. And he's given the free kick. Arsenal fans, talk to me. Well, you don't even need to be an Arsenal fan. I don't find Arsenal on the attack anywhere near as entertaining as they were last year. What do you think is the problem? I find that they're very apprehensive in the final third this season. Is it the Havertz effect? I don't know. They just seem they were very fluid last year, and this year it's just very, yeah, it's just not quite, it's not flowing, is it? Because of no Xhaka. People are saying no Xhaka. We miss his intensity. My personal feeling is that Odegaard was more central and forward last season, where he's having to share that role with Havertz now. Matthew says Havertz does slow it all down. Slowing the attack, says Shamron. Oh, another free kick here. Odegaard, back post, headed away. Billy says, your flight to Mallorca was okay. Who's in charge of how people have to travel? Yeah, Billy, I can't drive to Mallorca. And yeah, it's across the sea, mate. You can drive from Manchester to Liverpool. A private flight, the cost of it and the damage in the environment compared to getting in your car or car sharing, even better. Don't come at me with that, young man. That's a terrible excuse. Arsenal in the box. Odegaard. Saka's there. Corner. And also, if you're going to take a private flight from Manchester to Liverpool and back, let's not forget, it's not one flight, it's two. It's two. If you're going to take a private flight, fill it up with other people who are going from Liverpool to Manchester. It's the arrogance. It's the elitism. Disgusting. Goal! It is a goal. It's Saka. Henderson wants a foul. Well, controversy. Controversy, I say. Controversy. 2-0. But controversy. Is it a foul? Well, it'll be a Saka assist. I tell you what, the Premier League's got a massive problem. In a way, I love this. I love this because I thought it was a foul on the Burnley goalkeeper last week and VAR said no. So look what happens here. To me, that's another foul. But Henderson can't get anywhere near it. And he does get a shove. I do think it's a foul. I do think it's a foul, but they can't give it. They absolutely cannot give that. If they give that, it's a bloody disgrace. If they don't give it, it's a disgrace. For me, that's a foul, but they didn't give it last week, so they can't give it this week. Two-0. And it is given. It is given. They've got to give it. They've got to give it. They've 100% got to give it. I completely agree. Is that a foul for you? Let me say this. Is that a foul for you? Yes or no? Right. I'm gonna be 100% with Arsenal here. They have to be given that goal. 100%, they've got to give it. But this is just another indicator of how VAR and the PGMOL are ruining the Premier League because it was a foul last week on Trafford. They've made a big decision on it. And now, any push on a goalkeeper, you've got to give a goal. So goalkeepers are going to find it very, very hard now because Arsenal, quite rightly, Ben White has gone and stood there, turned his back into him, gave him a bit of a nudge, very subtle, knocked him off his balance. It should be a foul, but you can't give it because the PGMOL have made a stupid decision last week and are now trying to justify it. You could argue that the first goal could have been a foul with the way he gets his arms up on him, but because they gave the Newcastle one a few months ago, they're slowly eroding the rules of the game into a ridiculous situation. I mean, I don't know whether you've ever played in goal, but when you're jumping and you get knocked off balance, it completely fucks you up. So, to me, that's a foul, but 100% you've got to give the goal because Howard Webb came out this week and said, we're quite happy to give that as a non-foul now. So, I think it's a foul. I think it's always been a foul, and I think it should be a foul, soft or not, I think it should. But when you don't give the one last week, you've got to give the goal this week. So I've got no problem with it. I've got a problem with the interpretation of the rule, but that's PGMOL. Havertz looks a shot of confidence since Tuchel went, says Ewan. And of course, the positive is Saka gets an assist. 58 Go says, it's obviously not a foul at this point. You're just looking for VAR agendas at this point. Well, you're obviously panicking, mate, because you wrote at this point twice in the same sentence. So I'll dismiss that one. And if you opened your ears, you'd listen to what I said. I think these are fouls on goalkeepers. They've always been fouls on goalkeepers. But I think the PGMOL fucked up last week against Burnley, and therefore they've got to continue to stick by their own stupid rule. Which is exactly why when crosses come in now, you can get your hands on people and jump because of the Newcastle goal that they gave that shouldn't have been a goal for the foul on Gabrielle. They're slowly fucking the league up with their stupid decisions because it's about being proved, it's about backing each other rather than actually following the rules. So Arsenal's goal should stand because of the mistake that they got made last week, and it was compounded. And I tell you what I will say as well, fair play to Arteta and fair play to Ben White. They're switched on. They've seen what's happened last week and they'll have said to them, go and stand on the goalkeeper. Go and stand right on the goalkeeper. Put your back into him a little bit. Don't use your hands. Just use your body. Get into the goalkeeper a little bit. They've perfect. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Arsenal. Brilliant from Arteta. Brilliant from Ben White. I've played the game. That's exactly what every team needs to do to the goalkeeper now. And we can all thank the PGMOL, because if this happens to United or it happens to Arsenal, you'll be moaning saying, come on, he's not the goalkeeper off balance. But this is what the PGMOL have decided now, that you can literally push yourself into a goalkeeper when he's jumping. And there we go. James says, blocks Henderson from moving off the ball equals a foul. Yeah, well, some people don't want a foul for that, James. Some people don't want it to be a foul for that. But they will when it happens to their goalkeeper. Let's just remember that. But we shouldn't be arguing. It's 100% a goal, because this is the rule change that the PGMOL have tried to do. So let's stick with it. You can push a goalkeeper now, as long as it's subtle. There's a player down injured here. Um, 57% of you say it's a foul. 45% of you say, 43% of you say no. Close. The right decision was made. Arsenal should be given the goal. Dalaba says, you could have took a ferry to Mallorca though, so don't act like your own farts don't smell. Let people do what they want to do with their own money they earned. No, I won't, Dalaba. Sorry, I won't. Because the great thing about life is people do things and you can have an opinion on it. So if somebody wants to get a private jet to travel from Manchester to Liverpool to train for Everton and then get a private jet back, they can do what they like. It's not illegal, but they can also be called out by lots of people for being a selfish, arrogant prat. And that's why he won Prat of the Week. Cameron says, I'm done with the PGMOL. They should get in the bin and get out of our game. Femi says, Akanji on Alisson was a foul, but this isn't. Great point. Great. Johnny Evans has had one. The frustrating thing is that this PGMOL, the PGMOL don't seem to have any boundaries on messing up this season. We've seen Arsenal's, Newcastle, we've seen Liverpool, we've seen Wolves, we've seen handballs, all sorts. But what I have a problem with is that halfway through a season, they've changed the rule. You can't do that. The integrity of the league means that for 38 game weeks, you've got to have the same rule. You can't change the rule halfway through the season. I thought it was a foul on Alisson when Akanji grabbed his arm. It was soft, but I thought it was a foul. And they gave a foul. Last week for Trafford, much the same thing. Oh, we're not giving fouls for that anymore. And this is my problem. It's not whether they give the goal or not. You've got to give that goal because you gave the one last week. But if you're going to give that, you've got to give the goal that Man City scored against Liverpool. You can't change your mind halfway through the season and say it's now okay to barge a goalkeeper. This is the problem. It's the inconsistency. Deitch is like a mole that suffers from geophagia. He digs tunnels underground to travel and eats the gravel he finds, so jets and cars are alien to him, says Jack Clancy. And in other news, it's lovely to see that Sven Eriksson was invited to manage Liverpool after being diagnosed with his illness. You love to see it, says Bart. And Tony Pulis master tactics was players standing around the goalkeeper and no one moaned, says 58 Go. Yeah, well, you did get a foul for it, mate. It's always, look, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, 58 Go, it's always been a foul for knocking into the goalkeeper. They used to call them the protected species of football, didn't they? Don't try and rewrite history. We all know that if you nudge a goalkeeper, it's a foul. It always has been. People moan about it. Not anymore. You can do it. The PGMOL have changed the rule halfway through the season. You can do it now. Is Saka on the right-hand side? Well, one thing's for sure, Arsenal are doing a very efficient job here of dispatching Crystal Palace. Just been sent a question. Onana or Henderson? I mean, Onana's a better goalkeeper than Henderson. He's just not performing. I'll tell you what, though, Palace have not been very impressive today. Nice ball into Trossard. Gets the shot off. Late tackle on him. And goes wide. Don't forget the Villa goal ruled out versus Sheffield United, says Dan. What's for lunch, Mark, says Hannah. Thanks for being a member, Hannah, by the way. I had some breadsticks and hummus just before I started, a banana and some chicken from the fridge. So, healthy bridge, but I don't know what I'm having tonight. I've got a load of party food from New Year's Eve that we didn't end up using, so I think we might just get it out of the freezer and have a buffet. I bet English clubs will start doing that in the Champions League, says Jack. Thanks to everyone who's getting involved, by the way. I don't know whether you've noticed, but we're on 1.09 subscribers. We're very close to 1.1, which is another big landmark for the channel. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on 1.093 at the moment, but we're only 300 away from 94. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Everyone's welcome here. Big debates, big conversation about everything in football. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for tuning in today. And we're back tomorrow, of course, with Liverpool against Bournemouth. We're about to hit half-time here. You can tell that because look at the empty seats at Arsenal. They're not moaning Arteta out now, are they? We're in London, aren't we? We're not moaning Arteta out now. We're 2-0 up against Palace. We're content again. We're going to go and get our Bovril. We're going to go and get our sandwich. Yeah, where's all the Arteta out now, eh? Ridiculous. Privileged. Privileged Arsenal. They are. And that's half-time. That's half-time. And, look, controversy. Get us your thoughts in the chat. I think some people aren't intelligent enough to grasp what I'm about to say here, but I'm sure most of you are. Arsenal are the victim and Crystal Palace are the victim and the viewer is the victim. This is about officiating. This is not about, you know, what team you support. If that happens at the other end and it's 1-1, I know Arsenal fans are going to lose their shit. I know it for a fact. I know what happens when you've got your glasses on that are tinted. Arsenal fans are going to go, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. It's a goal. If I'm a Man United fan, I'm saying exactly the same. I get that. So I don't even listen to that opinion. Because I know if it's 1-0 and Palace do that on Raya, it's a foul. It's a foul. That's just how it works. The goal should be given because last week Howard Webb said about the foul on Trafford that they made the right decision. And as soon as he did that, he's opened up the floodgates for this. It's irresponsible officiating because Howard Webb and the PGMOL are not really fit for purpose. They're a walking contradiction. And they can't deal with this because this is going to be delivered in a concise way without a rant or a swear word in sight. This season, we have seen multiple goals ruled out for exactly what we've seen against James Trafford for Burnley last week and exactly what we've seen today. We've seen them ruled out. Prime case, everyone will remember, Alisson goes to catch the ball, Akanji touches his arm, foul given, no goal. It's very similar to what's happened there. It's very similar to what happened against for Burnley and James Trafford. Halfway through the season, inexplicably, the PGMOL have decided to change the rules on contact on the goalkeeper. So if that Alisson Man City thing happened tomorrow, the goal would be given because they'd have to follow what they've done today and what they did last week with James Trafford. We've basically changed the rules now. The goal has been given correctly today because the PGMOL and Howard Webb have now given a directive that you can do what happened to James Trafford last week, which is an attacking player can be aware of the goalkeeper and turn their back into them. And it won't be a foul anymore. It's always been a foul, but we basically had a rule change halfway through the season. So anybody who's saying that's a foul, I agree with you. We're so used to that being a foul. We are. And I agree. I think it probably should be a foul. But there's been a rule change. Watch what happened to James Trafford last week. Howard Webb, PGMOL said that's okay now. So I've got to applaud Arteta and I've got to applaud Ben White because they've seen what Howard Webb said and they've followed it to the letter. Ben White's not grabbing the player. He's not grabbing Henderson. He's not pushing him like that. He's very, very intelligently, probably on the advice of Arteta, gone and stood right next to Henderson. They've hung the ball up. And when Henderson's coming to claim it, he's just turned into him a little bit. Give him a bit of a nudge. Henderson's got no chance of getting it anymore because he's off balance and it goes in on the back post. It's excellent from Arsenal. It's excellent from Arteta and it's excellent from Ben White. And it's exploiting a rule change that Howard Webb publicly put out there this week. You can't moan about it. But you know what's going to happen? The PGMOL are going to have to backtrack. Because all we're going to see now is every club on a corner is going to stand around the goalkeeper, use their backs, and basically barge them into a position where they can't come and get it. So it'll change again. It will change again because it's not going to be sustainable to see goalkeepers being barged off from making the run to get the ball. Because that's what's happened. It's an obstruction. It's pure and simple. It's obstruction. Is Ben White obstructing Dean Henderson? Yes. Was James Trafford obstructed last week? Yes. And it always was a foul. But it's not a foul at the moment. But it will be a foul in the future. 100%. So, Arsenal goal correct. In relation to where we are at the moment, you can get away with it because Howard Webb says it's fine. But they'll stop it again soon. It will get stopped again because it's not sustainable. I'm live on TalkSport this evening as well, if you want to call in and have your say. PJ says the goalkeeper's got no right to push through anyone either, says PJ. Well, mate, I'm not saying you make a bad point. I'm just saying it's always been a foul and now they've done a rule change. So, some people will agree with PJ. I'm sure they will, but it's always been a foul, mate. That's been a foul for 20 years, maybe even longer. They've just changed the rules halfway through. As for that, we've had a super chat here from Terrible Gamer. Douglas Luiz scored a goal from a corner where Ramsdale was being held. No one moaned. All White did was stood his ground. He didn't hold him, says Terrible Gamer. Yeah, it's still a foul, mate. It's an obstruction. If you don't think... Look, I've just said Ben White and Arteta deserve not Masters Awards. They deserve a medal. Not a medal. But they deserve praise. They've seen a gap in the market and they've taken it. If you think Ben White's just stood there thinking about, when he's getting his next spray tan, then you're wrong. He knows exactly what he's doing. Give your team some credit. They know Ben White knows exactly what he's doing there. You can see him moving his back into him. He knows exactly what he's doing. And fair play to him. And Bournemouth and Liverpool should do it tomorrow. Crystal Palace and Arsenal should do it in the second half. Just keep doing it. Stop saying they've changed the rules. They haven't. They are just giving Arsenal decisions because they aren't good enough to compete, says Josh. Oh, come on. I think Arsenal have been very good this half, actually, bringing it back to the football. I said this morning that we'd either see a refreshed, rejuvenated and focused Arsenal, or they'd continue to be like they were before Christmas. And actually, they have been very refreshed, very focused. I think the gap's done them good. And again, it's another kick in the teeth for the PGMOL, isn't it? Because really, well, they're trying to say there's a foul in the build-up to the Crystal Palace goal here. There's another obstruction. I don't know about that. But look, it just shows you, doesn't it? All these players playing so many games, so many extra minutes. I think Arsenal looked absolutely tired out when I last saw them play. And this half, much, much better. Much, much better. And that's got to be a positive for the title race, and it's got to be a positive for Arsenal fans to see Arsenal looking rejuvenated after a couple of weeks off. Let's have a look at this this goal here. I mean, Gabrielle scored 2 fucking goals as well. I didn't even realise he scored the second one. Yeah, Ben White does not hold his ground. Whoever said Ben White holds his ground, I mean, there's literally a barging match going on. Maybe Dean Henderson should be stronger. Henderson's looking for a foul. I feel he could have avoided White, says McGarry. Yeah, but you know what? In fairness to Dean Henderson, and that's not words I will use, anyone from the United Stand will know. But in fairness to Dean Henderson, it is a rule change because it's always been given. So goalkeepers need to switch on now, don't they? They need to realise you're not going to get a foul for that. So you're going to have to be a little bit rougher. You're going to have to use your body. You have got your hands. You're going to have to push them out the way and go and get the ball. Where do you see Gabrielle ranked as a defender? I personally think he's underrated. And that's been seen by most. Top 5 centre-backs this season. Do a poll on it, says it's Louis. Well, no, he's not in the top 5 centre-backs this season, no. But I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. If you listen to the podcast, you'll know why. We get 3 points if a defender scores. And I went for Van Dijk over Gabrielle. That would have been 6 points off 2 goals. But yes, we mustn't undermine or, play down the fact that Gabrielle scored 2 goals here. It's great. Foxy says, "Don't come back." Well, you won't be coming back. See you, mate. And fully disagree with Mark here, says Terrible Gamer. It's not always been a foul. Plenty of examples of it being given. Seeing the replays, White stands his ground. Yes, intentional, but so what? I completely disagree with you, Terrible Gamer, which is exactly what it's all about. It's always been a foul as far as I'm concerned, and Howard Webb changed the rule this week, so the goal should stand. I can't explain any more than that. Apparently the second goal was an own goal. No, Gabrielle's got both on BBC. Mark, where's your wedding ring gone, Nathan? Don't get a hard on. I'm not on the market. My finger's swollen, so I just can't get it on. I'm gonna have to get my fingers sorted out. It's not getting any better, I'm afraid. I've still got mobility, but there's still an issue there. It's been a month now. It's not getting any better. How does anybody notice I haven't got my wedding ring on unless they bloody fancy me? Come on. That was the golden rule when we used to go out to the club. Thursday night, Ritzy, Nottingham, when I was like 18, 19. If anybody looked over 21, you check their finger. You don't want to be getting a MILF that's married. No thanks. Lazy Parker says, "I've just fractured my ankle today. What are your thoughts?" Sympathy. I'll tell you what, though. It's half time. Just very, very quickly. courting today, or dating as you might call it. I was thinking about this the other day. It's so different to like what it was when I was growing up. You used to go out on a Thursday night into town. You know, you might meet someone from the other side of town. My point is, there wasn't any technology where you could swipe it left or right from, you know, a girl from Manchester or London or anything like that. No, you know, your target's audience was very, very slim. You know, it was what you saw on a night out, what you saw down your local pub. That was it. You know, your future partner was going to have to be someone in close proximity. Whereas these days, you've got loads of choice. Loads of choice. It's like a lion, isn't it, in the animal world? Imagine a lion, right? It lives in, I don't know, the middle of Africa, and it wants a mate. It can only get what it can walk to. Whereas if in today's world, if it had a phone, you know, it could go and get someone from North Africa or South Africa. The world's the limit. I'll tell you what, if someone turned up at our local pub on a Saturday night and they weren't from the area, i.e. they were from the next village, it was like they'd seen an alien. What's your thoughts on rugby league? Don't have many up the mighty West Tigers. Not for me. Not for me. I don't mind rugby union, but I'm not really up for rugby league. Never really been into it. Alessandro says, do you think the PGMOL are changing the rules so it's easier for them to officiate and look good? Well, I mean, look, I don't mind if they want to change a rule, but change it in the summer. Don't change it halfway through the season. That's my big thing. Yeah, change it through the summer, not through the season, because it's not fair on people. Look, I'm never going to complain. I'm never going to complain about people being able to, you know, we're getting more goals. I'm not going to complain about that, but a foul is still a foul as well. I mean, I think the Burnley one's worse than the one today. Yeah. Kaylin says, is he still crying about the goal? No, Kaylin, because that's football. Manchester United are shit, and I'd rather Arsenal win the league than Man City. So why would I be crying about a goal that Arsenal are the best team in the game, and I don't really care if Arsenal win? In fact, you know, I quite like Arteta, unlike some Arsenal fans. So I'm not crying about the goal. I'm talking about the inconsistency of this league. Now, if you are up Howard Webb's arse, you know, and you've got pictures on the wall of him, that's up to you. But I'm here for the integrity of football. I'm not here to bow down to dictators who are making the game worse. So if you think that you're in a position of power because you are justifying the changing of a rule halfway through a season, then you go for it. But that says a lot more about you than it does about the integrity of this league, which time and time again is being undermined by people who don't know what they're on about. Arsenal deserve to win the game. They've been the better team. It's not about Arsenal. It's about officiating. And unfortunately, we talk about it a hell of a lot. And we're still in a position where if Arsenal or Liverpool lose the league title by anything less than 3 points, the integrity of the whole league will fall apart because Liverpool had a goal onside, not given, and Arsenal conceded a goal at Newcastle that shouldn't have been given. So let's not pretend that we're operating in a league that's integrity driven and, you know, doing fine, and it's the odd exception. Game after game after game, week after week after week, we see terrible officiating. Now, if you don't like that or your brain can't compute it, then that's up to you. But I'm not going to stop talking about it, and I don't think people are going to stop debating about it because it's happening all the time. Hi, Mark. Roy needs to go. This team is a mess, says Benbow. Well, funnily enough, I said at the start of the season, my prediction was that Roy Hodgson would be the first sacking. How many sackings have we actually had in the Premier League this season? 1. Oh, another corner for Arsenal. Cleared away. We've had 1 sacking, haven't we? Sheffield United. I mean, I think this must be some sort of record. We're nearly in February, and we've had 1 Premier League sacking. Oh, 2. Apparently we've had 2. Who was the other one? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not looking at the chat. It wasn't Burnley. Everton, no. Brentford, no. Forest, yes. Steve Cooper, yeah. We've had two. But I predicted Hodgson would get sacked, and I got laughed at the start of the season. But I could see it coming. Roy is, it's not. Fans don't like things that are short term. They want hope. They want longevity. They don't want short termism. And Hodgson did well last season after Vieira, but it was never going to work for a full season. And he's 76, says Linda. They've got to be careful here, because we say Arsenal don't put teams to the sword, but they very well might do today. Jose Mourinho, says Yannick, one of our members. Jose to Newcastle. What do you think about this? Well, honestly, I would take Jose Mourinho as the England manager. And I just want to quantify that by saying that I would take Graham Potter as England manager. I would take Eddie Howe as England manager. I'm not saying, oh, go and get Mourinho manager of Manchester United, of England, because he's brilliant. But I think he would be well suited to that. I think Mourinho he's done as a club manager now. The one place, I remember when he was at Spurs and I said, he's got to go to Italy. Like, he can't live with the Premier League. It's too quick. It's too intense. The style of football doesn't suit Jose anymore. And that was proved at Man United, and it was proved at Spurs. He's not a Premier League manager anymore. He can't deal with this style of football. But international football is a lot slower. He'd be perfect for international football. And he's done his bit. What's he going to do next? Where's he going to go next? He's not going to go to Spain. He's already done Real Madrid. He's not going to go to, Italy. He's failed at Roma. He's not going to get a better job than that. If he comes back to the Premier League, it will be a nightmare. So I think international football for him keeps him relevant. And also, he could do international football for a couple of years and then get something else. So I think the England job for Mourinho would be perfect, but the FA probably won't do it. That's my opinion. I'd take him for England. Arsenal on the attack. Jesus, cut it back. He does. Trossard gets it stuck under his feet. That should have been 3-0. That should have been 3-0. Saka wanted a foul in the box. Let's have a look at this. Well, there's a bit of a push in the box, but the ball doesn't go anywhere near Saka. I don't think you're going to start giving fouls for that off the ball, really. I don't think we want that rule change. Jose might do the Saudi League, says Pete. Hold on. Klein's on the attack here for Palace. And it's a bad cross. Goal kick. Two things to ask, Mark. What happened to protecting the keepers? Do you think Wan-Bissaka could be CDM? His pace stats are good, like Fabinho, says safe. Aaron Wan-Bissaka can never be a centre-back or a holding midfielder because he spends too much time on the ground. You can't be a slide tackling centre-back or a holding midfielder. It only works if you're near the touchline so that the ball goes out of play. Imagine if you're slide tackling all the time in the centre of the pitch and the ball just rolls off to another player. You can't do that. So Wan-Bissaka can only ever be a right-back. He can't be a centre-back. And he can't pass either, says Decky. I think he'd be a crap centre-back, to be honest. I know he's good on FIFA, but that's FIFA. That's not real. Jack says, Jose was class, much better than Ten Hag. Open your pathetic eyes. I know of one when people start using abuse. So thank you very much. I've obviously upset you. Let me upset you a little bit more. I heard somebody saying that Mourinho should go to Chelsea. I hope he does, because Chelsea will get even worse. Wherever Mourinho goes in the Premier League, they will get worse. So I hope he goes to Chelsea. I mean, it's incredible that people don't actually analyse the game of football anymore. Mourinho, I can't wait. He's got a documentary coming out. I think he's box office. I really like Mourinho. He's one of the greatest managers we've ever known. But he's done. He's done in the Premier League. He's finished. I watched it. I saw it at Man United. I saw it at Spurs. He's done. He can't do it. It's impossible. He can't do it in the Premier League. It won't happen. So anybody thinks that Mourinho is going to come and rebuild Chelsea or steer Man United back, no. Never going to happen. He's finished. Absolutely finished in the Premier League. It's sad. It's really sad. But the same thing happened to Wenger. What people don't realise is most managers don't walk out the front door like Sir Alex. They walk out the back door. And people remember what they did, not what they finished doing. And Jose Mourinho, unfortunately, his style of football doesn't work in the modern game. So he's done. He's done in the Premier League. But international football is more boring and slower. He suits international football like a glove. I mean, Roberto Martinez gets a job from Portugal when he was shit at Belgium because international football isn't that good. Mourinho would be perfect for international football. I wouldn't want Mourinho anywhere near United. Whether Ten Hag gets sacked or not, Mourinho wouldn't even be in my top 20 choices. Like, no way. We shouldn't have sacked him when we did. We should have got him straight after Sir Alex, but I wouldn't go anywhere near him now. Next two managers on the way up are Amorim and Alonso, says Leroy. Seven says the disrespect. It's not disrespect, mate. It's just an opinion, and it's a real opinion. He's not got that about him anymore. And if you follow his career like I do, he doesn't have it anymore. Roma, very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Spurs were dreadful. Chelsea at the end, down tools on their greatest ever manager. Man United players stabbed him in the back. He's lost something, unfortunately. He's not the Mourinho he was at Real Madrid and Inter and Chelsea. He's gone. That's not there anymore. And that's why I think international football would suit him, because he'd have less time with the players and it would be more, you know, intense for the short periods that he had. And I'd love to see him in international football anyway. I mean, Jose Mourinho's done everything in club football. He's won league titles. He's won Champions Leagues. He will go down as one of the greatest managers ever anyway. But if he goes and does international football and wins a World Cup, well, how many domestic managers, well, how many managers in the game have won multiple Champions Leagues, multiple domestic titles, and a World Cup? I mean, that surely has got to be a... I mean, maybe Pep will do that with Spain one day. I don't know. I think that's what he should do. And I'd be very, very excited to see it happen. I'd love him to be England manager. I'd love it. Because I think that's probably what England miss. Mentality. I'll tell you what, it'd be nice to see it. Well, actually, it wouldn't be nice to see a Palace goal because I've got Saliba centre-back, haven't I? How's everyone doing on their FPL, actually? I'm going to have a look at mine in a minute. It's been a very straightforward win for Arsenal so far. I wonder what got any Arsenal fans in the crowd? What you thinking? I know some of them have been making hay for the last couple of weeks. Arteta, I told you, Arteta, told you. Told us what? You just want to be proved right? I said Arsenal looked tired before this break. They don't look tired today. They look more focused. They look a lot better today. I still think, though, I don't like the balance of the midfield. And surely it's a case of money. Surely they just don't have any money. Because to me, it's just so obvious. Go and get a striker. Even today, I mean, you swap Jesus out for, I don't know. What would you swap Jesus out for? I mean, Benzema on loan, whatever. Zinchenko, Odegaard, Jesus. Side netting. You see, I just think Arsenal, take Jesus out the team, put Tony in. Take Jesus out the team, put Osman in. Take Jesus out the team, put Tony in. They just desperately need a striker. Mourinho should replace Southgate, says John. I agree. My FPL is looking like this. Points. I got 29 at the moment. What? Saka's not even got an assist. They're having a bloody laugh. They're having a laugh. They're giving it as a Henderson own goal. Well, who put the bloody cross in? What a joke. What an absolute joke. Bloody joke. PJMOL and now the Premier League's FPL. You are a bunch of prats. What a bunch of prats. Jesus should be booked for diving there. He's sponsored by Speedo. Absolute diver. Corner to Crystal Palace here. How can you not get an assist when you put the bloody cross in? Is that a rule then? You can't get an assist on an own goal? It's not like Henderson's picked the ball up and thrown it in his own bloody net, is it? Right, break for Arsenal. You've got to be scoring from here. Jesus, good ball. Yeah, Trossard. That's how you break. That's how you break. This is a different Arsenal. That's how you break after a break. Yeah, I tell you, they just look revitalised. They look fresh. Watch this from David Raya as well. Look at that from David Raya. What an assist. Well, it's a second assist. It's a great throw out by Raya. And then he plays it into Jesus, who gets the pass perfect. Trossard puts the defender on his arse. And Henderson. Yeah, ain't saving that. Jesus with the assist. Look at Arteta. See, I do oh, could be a check in a possible offside here. Hold on. It's Louis says our attackers finally score. Hold on, it's Louis. Oh, he's miles on, surely. Looks miles on to me. Here we go again. Let's fucking miles on. He's absolutely miles on. Why are VAR checking that? Oh, get out. Get in the bin, Webb. Get in the bin. Rubbish. Waste of time. Get on with the game. Stupid check. Stupid check. Who have I got in my FPL? I've got Areola tomorrow. Oh, I've got Pedro Porro, who's got to come into my team as well. So I've got 35 points. I've got 35 points as things stand. But I've still got Tony, Estupiñán and Areola. And Saliba and Saka playing here. So if they get a clean sheet, that'll be a few more. Look, very straightforward win for Arsenal. They could get more here. Trossard, back post, Odegaard, Jesus, blocked. Arsenal up to third, 43 points. As things stand, joint with Man City and Villa. Same amount of games played. Villa would be down in 4th. Nathan Watson says, I love Henderson conceding. Poor old Roy. Look at him. Still got half an hour to go here. I'd be worried if I was Palace. I'd be worried here. Trossard is better than Rashford, says Hashi. Mate, you need to grow up, mate. You seriously need to grow up. These sort of conversations don't really happen anymore. Football communities have moved on from that sort of thing. You're meant to support your team and look at what it's doing in the league. You don't spend your time going, oh, such and such is better than such and such. It's crap. It's boring. Free kick edge of the box for Palace. I'm loving my hair up, by the way. If you're on the code, Goldbridge, 10%. Dolphin says, who's moved on? Yeah, there are still those fans out there who, for some reason, get very stressed about whether Trossard's better than Rashford or, you know, whether Rice is better than Rodri. It's an irrelevance. I can do either ors. They're interesting, but they're not. They're a bit of fun. What taste have you got in your hair up? Watermelon. It needs a change, actually. Can we do a poll? Yes. We will do. Oh, good shot. Good save by, well, it was straight at the keeper. Did you see that Beppe goal yesterday? Oh, my God. Can you do a poll? Roy versus Arteta, says it's Lou. I can't do that. It's unfair. Let me do this one. Would you take Jose as England manager? Check that one out. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Really appreciate that. And we've got a new member in the chat as well. So welcome. Thank you very much. Trying to build up the badges in the chat this year. So thank you very much. Linda Searles is there. Yes, Mourinho can bring it home. Thanks for supporting the channel, Linda. To be honest, at this point, from a Fantasy Premier League point of view, I really hope Arsenal don't concede, because Crystal Palace are not going to come back into this game. So I'd rather it, you know, I wouldn't have minded Palace getting a result here at the start of the game, but they're not going to get it now. So FPL kicks in, and I'm like, I've got Saliba, so please don't score now, Crystal Palace, because there's no point scoring a consolation goal. And actually, you're going to lose anyway, so it wouldn't be bad if you lost 7-0 now and Saka got a hat-trick. So that's what I'm sort of thinking now. Please don't score Palace, and Arsenal keep scoring. And I'll be honest, it's completely FPL related. And if you don't understand that, if you know, you know. You know? I tell you what, I've worn them in now. These are amazing. They are amazing. I don't know how much they are, but they're very, very good. They're very good. To be honest, just so I'm being fair, I've also got these. Either or with Goldbridge. The new Adidas Predators or the Nikes. And they are both they're both very good. So take your pick. But I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. I'll kick your face in. No, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. But no, they're very good. Very, very good. FA Cup winner prediction, says Simon. 81% of you would take Jose as next England manager. Who do I think is going to win the FA Cup? Man City. I think until Man City get knocked out, I'd always boringly predict Man City. Because I think it's just predictable. Imagine if you've got Gabrielle in your FPL, by the way. Everyone's going to get him now. Who's the most entertaining team to watch this season, says Mikel? Well, I've got to say that the most enjoyable game I've watched this season, and it was definitely Villa against Man City at Villa Park. I've just not seen a team do that to Man City in ages. You know, it wasn't a lucky 1-0. They absolutely battered them for possession and shots. It was that was the most impressive game I've seen. The best... Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Should Eze leave Palace for a better club, says it's Louis? Yes. But I think that's always the case, isn't it? You know, if you think you can do better, you should always look to do that. I mean, he's going to be 26 this year, so I think it's a big summer for Eze. Yeah. Chelsea City was a good game, Ashram, as a game, yeah. Both City then, you see, there's a running theme there, isn't it? Mark, the only reason I won't take Jose is because of the players he could have fallen out with, like Luke Shaw off the top of my head. Yeah, BDJ, you're absolutely spot on. There might be resonating issues with certain players. Martinelli's coming on. Oh, this could be good for Goldbridge. I've got him in. If you listen to the podcast, I have got Martinelli. So get him on for half an hour, 20 minutes. You never know. Smith Rowe's coming on as well. What's happened to Smith Rowe, by the way? What's happened to him? Odegaard. He wanted Jesus to run there. Where should Eze go, says Michael? Well, that's a great question because I don't know where Eze... Spurs jumps out to me for some reason. But Trossard coming off for Martinelli. And Smith Rowe will probably be coming on for Jesus, maybe. Havertz. Eze or Elise to United, Paul, says Rudy. No need to do it. It will be Elise by a landslide. 80% are going with Jose there. Morgan says, yes, Smith Rowe. He'll come on and score. Watch. I'm looking forward to Newport against Man United. It'll be nice to go and play at a, you know, a small ground. Atmospheric. And it's midweek Premier League games, isn't it? Straight after that. Get it to Saka. Oh, Martinelli, you greedy shit. Oh, he's a greedy shit. Need Saka to get some bloody points here. He's my captain. TNT has got this game today. And then it will be... I presume it's Sky tomorrow for Liverpool. So that'll be an interesting game tomorrow, Liverpool-Bournemouth. Bournemouth have been very good this last couple of months, and they're at home, and Liverpool haven't got Salah. Has there been any updates on Salah's injury, actually? I mean, that could have a massive part to play in the title race. Martinelli into the box. Oh, he's overrun it. He's overrun it. Max says, if you could communicate with any animal, what would it be? Next game for Arsenal's Forest away. I don't know how you make these games enjoyable, says Hessen. Well done. I'd like to talk to a lion. Actually, you know what? I'd like to talk to a great white shark from a boat. And I'd say, do you really not like eating humans? I think most decent animals would be good to have a chat with. Do you think Graham Potter's heading to Palace, says Taylor? He's in the crowd. He'd be a good appointment for Palace, Graham Potter, actually. Oh, God. 20 minutes to go. What about a polar bear? I'm trying to give up talking about polar bears. It does get a little bit too much, I think, at times. Got a video coming out on the United stand in a couple of hours. Man United's top 5 worst transfers since Sir Alex left. And it's one of the hardest videos I've ever done. Because everybody could have a different top 5. Declan Rice is coming off. Jorginho comes on. I think Arteta's just trying to get as many people as possible some game time here, isn't it? They haven't played for 2 weeks. They're not playing for another week and a half. Foul on Odegaard. Getting a bit hungry now. Don't know what to have a snack after this. Jay says, funny concept. Which animal has what British accent? Thoughts on Wolves this season, says Tom. What, the football team or the animal that's a dog? I think Wolves have been a bit unlucky this season, really. Oh, Jesus with the cutback intercepted. I think Wolves have been very unlucky. I think they've been robbed by bad official decisions. Pretty much from day one, you could say that they should have got a penalty against United. I'm a bit worried about Wolves, actually. United's next league game is Wolves away. Salah is only out of Egypt's next 2 games. If they qualify for round of 16, he'll be back, says Lille. And Mark, pick one. Petr Cech or David De Gea, says Ali. Oh, David De Gea. Oh, there's a wave of Arsenal players coming forward here. Saka, Odegaard, Saka, shoots. Oh, over the bar. Stop being greedy and score a goal. I've not taken any notice of the AFCON, but I'm just having a quick look at the tables, and Egypt are second in their group with 2 points. Cape Verde are top. Senegal are doing well. Equatorial Guinea are doing well. Nigeria. Ivory Coast were favourites. They can still get through. Egypt have got Ghana and Mozambique. And their next game is Egypt. The next game for Egypt, I don't know. Oh, Cape Verde on Monday. I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans will be hoping that they go out. Arsenal Cannon, are you going to the Euros? We've not decided what we're doing yet because obviously all that content will be on this channel, but yeah, no decisions yet. What happened with Henderson, says Ghost Hunter. Red Army says, fair play for calling out the cheats of English football and their 115 charges and publicly shaming them. Sky Sports must be getting paid to keep quiet, says Red Army. Well, the information's there, isn't it? You know, the allegations are that they inflated sponsorship deals. And instead of them being what they should have been, they inflated them massively. That's the allegation. Whether they get proved or not is there to be seen, isn't it? But I've said it before. You know, I always said, and many people have said it, how is it that Manchester City are getting such big investment when they don't have the fan base for it? You know, Man United, Liverpool, they get sponsorship deals from companies that go, you've got an audience, we want to hit that audience and we'll give you this much. How do Man City justify getting the same amounts when they don't have the same audience? And that's been going on for 15 years. It's logical. It's just whether they can prove it or not. Because at the end of the day, what is allegedly happened is, why would a company pay Man City? It's like me saying to a local shop, I'm going to pay you exactly what... So, right, I want to advertise my new book. And I go to Sainsbury's and I say, can you advertise my book in all of your shops all around the UK? And they say, yes, it's £1 million. And then I walk down to my local shop who's got one shop and I go, can you advertise my book? Yes, it's £1 million. I'm going to say no. I've got a poster in every Sainsbury's in the UK for £1 million, and you want me to give you £1 million to put it in one shop window? No, I'm not going to do it. But so people go, well, why did people do it? Well, because the allegation is that the companies that were doing it were linked to Abu Dhabi, so they were happy to do it, which in a way is a type of laundering, isn't it? But it's whether they can prove it. But many people have said, why are Man City's revenues so high when they were a nothing club, and then suddenly they get all this money? I think everybody suspects what's gone on, but you've got to prove it. When did you write a book? Says a HK. It was just an example. Martinelli, where's Saka? Go on your own, Martinelli. Oh, he can't go on his own now. Go on your own. Go on your own. No. He's done well. Saka. Odegaard. Oh, Martinelli or Saka, I need him to do something. I've still got my Who Wants to Be a Millionaire book, yes. Only goats, no. Thanks everyone who watched Driving with Goldbridge this week, by the way. A lot of people saying that's Goldbridge, Driving with Goldbridge 2024 done. I do want to do more of them. I enjoy doing them, and it's not for the views anyway. I just like doing them. So if you did watch it, thank you very much. Do you think the best rugby team in the world could beat the Super Bowl champions in a game of American football, says Rob? Absolutely not. It's a completely different game. They could probably be trained to do it, but actually that's the point. NFL. Don't know who I want to win it. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Gabrielle's injured at the moment, and Nketiah's going to come on. And is that Vieira coming on as well? Don't know who that is. My Arsenal player recognition is not what it should be. I'd say Nketiah for Jesus, 100%. And maybe a defensive change, taking Gabrielle off. No, that's not Vieira, is it? He'll keep Saka on. He never takes him off. Never takes him off, Mark. Always keeps him on. I mean, look, when you watch the first goal, when you watch the first Gabrielle goal, Ben White's doing exactly the same thing to Henderson again, just backing into him. It's QER, who I can't pronounce his name. Dogging with Goldbridge, my favourite lay-bys, says Zippy. Well, I've never done it. I think it's filth, Zippy, if I'm being honest. Sometimes you can observe what people do and go, it's not for me, but I can understand why they do it. But yeah, I've never understood that. And you'd have to wash your car afterwards. It's Kivior. 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 There you go. Anot. I'll remember that forever now. Kivior. Morgan says it's a contact sport. You're allowed to back into keepers. No, you're not, Morgan. For 20 years, that's been a foul. It changed last week. Stop justifying it. If it happened to the Arsenal goalkeeper, you'd want a foul for it. Just own up to the fact that because they changed the rule last week, that goal will now be given. Just no one's saying it shouldn't have been given. Give the goal, but it's awful officiating, dictated to by the PGMOL, who are changing the rules again. It's always been a foul. You've not been able, you know, that's why they call them a protected species, goalkeepers, because it's always been a foul. I need Saka to fucking score here. Come on. He's free. No, he's not going to score from there, is he? He's out on the bloody touchline now. Put a cross in and again. No, don't do that. That's not an assist pass. Well. No, Saka won't score because he's my bloody captain in FPL. Give it him. Where's my tissue? Can't believe I'm getting a cold. I hate colds. Hate them. I like to feel healthy. I like to feel healthy. Gardening with Goldbridge is HP. Yeah, I'm never doing that. Not with my back. James Guy says a contact sport doesn't mean every contact is allowed. Oh no, Morgan thinks you can 2-foot people because it's a contact sport as well. Right, come on. A bit of a break here. Give it to Martinelli. Yeah. Go on. Now give it to Saka. That's the ball. There we go. Right, come on. Move it quick. Back into Martinelli. Don't shoot. Palace are desperately trying not to score, concede here. What do you think about Troy Deeney's sacking, Mark, says Daniel? Well, I've got to be honest and say I haven't been tracking the story that much. But at the end of the day, you know, footballers are very precious these days. There's a lot of ego in football. And, I mean, look at Mourinho. Mourinho's a prime example, isn't he? You know, Mourinho used to get away with a hell of a lot because he used to run the club from top to bottom, and it can't happen now. You know, player power. Martinelli. Who's that in the chat? I'd love if Arsenal concede. Now Gabrielle's been subbed off. Lewis, stop being an FPL tactician. It's a good point, though. Gabrielle has secured his clean sheet points. He's gone off with his 2 goals. Cash back. How many shots on target have Palace made this game? Well, it says there. They've actually had 3. Martinelli. Zinchenko. Bad pass, that. Oh, no, 1 goal for Gabrielle. You'd be pissed off with that, wouldn't you? Here's Martinelli. Yeah, second goal was an own goal. So, goal and clean sheet for Gabrielle. What have Palace got? I mean, not that they're very interesting, but they've got 21 points. They're not going to go down. Their next game is Sheffield United at home. So you win that and you're absolutely fine, don't you? Smith Rowe, Martinelli. If the class of 92 came through now with this setup and management, do you think they could make United more successful, says Beats? What? Yeah, of course they could. You know, you got Beckham, Butt, Neville, Giggs, Scholes. It's like 5 top players, isn't it? I think you drop them into any modern team and they're going to be good. I just don't get it with Nketiah, by the way. I don't get it. I don't get why Arsenal think that they can win. They're not winning. Here's a strong statement for you. I like what Arteta's done, and I hope that they can push it. But honestly, as much as I've been complimentary about Arsenal over the years, they're not winning the league. And you're not winning the league because you haven't got a striker. Jesus will not stay fit and will not score you the goals. And Nketiah would not start for Everton. So you don't have the striker to win the league. You know, Man City are about to get Erling Haaland back. You're not going to win the league. And I'd like them to push Man City. I'd rather Arsenal win the league than Man City, but you're just not going to do it. You can just see the opposition defences. They're not worried about it. I don't know why they just don't go and do it as well. I mean, it has to, I mean, look, I'm not an Arsenal fan. They mustn't have the money. It must be money. It must be money. Because I look at that Arsenal team and I think, you know, midfield's not bad. Defensively, very, very good. Keeper's good. Wide players are good. Just missing a striker. Oh, good play here by Eze. He's gone past a couple of players. And then a bad final pass. Is there any prospect of Arsenal actually bringing a striker in? We're tight on FFP, yeah. You see, I don't know the financials. You can't do much if you're tight on FFP. That's another advantage teams like Man City have, isn't it? You know, they've built that team over years and years and years, and they've just got so much depth and quality and so much freedom in the financial arena now because they've got away with it for so many years. Philip says Benzema's been linked. Well, look at that. Wasted potential on and off the pitch. Weak decisions taken us backwards. That's Crystal Palace fans. Honestly though, where should Crystal Palace be? I mean, I sit here as a neutral and I'm like, what do they expect? I mean, I would put Palace probably 14th anyway. I wouldn't put them anywhere else. But Benzema won't happen. Another one here. No shared vision, no structured plan. Benzema won't happen, but it would be perfect. You know, if you put Benzema in an Arsenal team for 6 months, I'd go, let's see what happens here. But it would be amazing. They're in the Champions League. I think Arsenal have got a good defence. As I say, I think they've got a decent midfield. But I don't fancy them for the league because I just don't see enough goals in them. Which is funny because it's the same problem they had last year. I go back to the game at the Emirates between Man City and Arsenal in February. And Nketiah had 3 big chances that you know a top striker would score. And he missed all 3. And City won the game. And you think, surely they're going to look at that over the summer. And they didn't. Either or, Saka or Rashford. You having a laugh, mate? I mean, it's Saka. I hate to say it, but it is. Like, it's not even a joke. It's comfortable. What about Benzema to Liverpool? I mean, is Benzema actually... I mean, he was mentioned in relation to United, which is just complete bollocks. But The latest on Benzema is that he returned furious to his Saudi club 17 days late after a mid-season break. The club officials said they couldn't contact him for 10 days. He's earning 85.9 million a season. But he's back now, and 100 million euros a season he's being paid. So they're going to discuss his future. Chelsea could look at him apparently. But that to me is the stupidity of football, isn't it? I mean, if Chelsea end up getting Benzema, can somebody tell me what the point is? Oh, here's Martinelli. Goldbridge. The podcast ultras, arise. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you listen to the podcast, you know. If you listen to the Friday podcast, you know. That's all I'm going to say. Goldbridge. He's one of my picks. Roy Hodgson looked like he's going to cry. Oh, that hurt. I didn't mean it, Roy. Ultras, says Lee, one of the members. Thanks, mate. It's 4-0 to Arsenal. It's been very, very easy. The assist. Oh, it's going to be Nketiah. Yeah, Nketiah with the assist. It's a good assist by him as well. But Martinelli's finish is really good. Nice and low. Take that. Yeah, but look, going back to Benzema. If Benzema goes to Chelsea, tell me what that's all about. What is that all about? They're not in Europe. They're not in a title race. They're not in a top 4 race. Like, why would Benzema go to Chelsea? Go to bloody... It was Henry-esque, Oggy, that finisher. Go to bloody Arsenal and try and win the league, Hello, when do you intend to take a Glazier to pay out the dividend and buy yourself... Oh, Martinelli's in again. He's got 2. He's got bloody 2. Well, I tell you what. Where's Will on WhatsApp? Where is he? This is hilarious, right? If you listen to the podcast, me and Will do on the Friday podcast, we do a game called Goldbridge. So basically, anybody who scored, you have to pick 5 people from the weekend to score a goal. He went Jesus for Arsenal, and I had Jesus down, so I had to change it. So I said, well, I'll go Martinelli. He who laughs last laughs the longest. So the funny thing is, I would have had Jesus if he hadn't had him, and I was polite. He could have a hat trick. Oh my God. No, that's the replay. Sorry. I'm an idiot. I thought he was in again. It's the replay. I was getting excited. Now I look a prat. That's the problem with not having the audio. Poor old Roy. And that's the final whistle. Did you know that Roy Hodgson's 76 and his assistant coach, Ray Lewington, is 67? They've got to be the oldest pair. That's over 130 years. It might be even 140. Demolition job. Demolition job by Arsenal. They've won comfortably there. And 5-0. 5-0. It didn't feel like a 5-0, did it? Just felt like a bit lackluster in the second half, to be honest. But sack Roy, says Brady. and Arsenal destroy Crystal Palace. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you subscribe on your way out. Don't forget, I'm going to do a match reaction anyway, but don't forget we've got Liverpool against Bournemouth tomorrow afternoon, another watch along. Looking forward to that. Thanks for spending it with me. And don't forget, I'm on TalkSport tonight at 7:30 till 9 as well. We're going to be grading Premier League teams so far this season, actually, and talking about who's been the signing of the season so far, who's not, and reacting to, obviously, Palace, Brighton, and this as well. Palace, Brentford. No, Brentford, Forest. Will Tony score? Speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. Oh, Roy. He looks like a man on the way out. Not like he's going to die. I mean, like a manager who's going to get the sack.